Hey y'all. Ooh.
Cartel meet you connect.
Mic check 1 2 on the way to third. Flow sick, put a straight jacket on my words. So sick, they think there's something in the herb. They think I'm gone, but I'm fine like a woman's curve. My personality is far from your reality. I'm closer to your hoe. Now come on, don't embarrass me. There is no comparison. This right here be kerosene. Carousel, parasail. I'm higher than everything. With I spit, you can't drink it like you're 17. I can show a million pair of eyes what they never seen, and I can do this when whatever the weather bring. Picasso couldn't paint a better scene. Colossal. Now give me the mic and a rock like a fucking fossil. I'm mad at the track and I beat it like Hector Camacho. What's poppin'? What it do? What's crackin'? Crackin' que pasa? The hospital. Mi casa, su casa. Red. I'm bad. And these niggas just squares like plaid. And if they're cool, then I'm cold. I gets money all day like the toll. I'm raw. I got my brim low, all I can see is the flow. I got my brim low, all I can see is the flow. I'm about to murder this shit. I'm an MTE soldier, an MTV gangster. I will be on VH1 when I'm done being famous. Explain shit, I have made my way, and you are just a stained bitch, you will fade away. And I only leave my house to paper chase. Yeah, off to the jungle where I feel safe. Like a home run in the bottom of the ninth inning, and I'm fresh like I'm by minute. I'm on the clock like 5 minutes, trying to make it past the line of scrimmage. Yeah. And before I leave us, ooh, she gave me face first like she done dived in it. And if she tall, I can climb in it. I usually don't have a time limit, and eat ain't a crime, is it? If so, extra working on my jail visits. You know, I'm in the game, they just sell tickets. Man, I got old bread like stale biscuits. You feeling froggy, all you gotta do is yell ribbit. Put your ass to a statue like an exhibit. Now let's get it. Let me at 'em, leave my cage open. With no pyro, I leave the stage smoking. Yes, it's Wheezy F, bitch. The best thing since breath, bitch. Suffocate. What's up, family? Whew. This time change. It's been kicking my ass. I'm telling you something. I think I'm alright with the. Do I know the end of this song? I think I did pretty good this week. I don't want to mess this shit up. Do I know the end of this song? It goes uptown, uptown, operation shut down. Wake up to police and go asleep to the gun sound. And you're a dead monkey. Cause I got a banana clip in these red monkeys. What you say it again? Afraid to say it twice. And they say type is cheap until you pay the price. It's just like dating dice. But I hope you dine a window. And if you are a rat, you're just a cobra's dinner. Y'all ain't fucking with me. Nigga under a G, like the light part of my feet. And so what them niggas left me. When it get cold, I turns into Wayne Grace. G to the end. I do it like it's never been done. So you can suck my dick with an elephant's tongue. Bitch, it's Wheezy, baby. Motherfucker, I spit rabies. Hey, that was the part, y'all. Okay, I was ready to get to that part, and I had forgot that it was in that song, but I was like, Mecca, do you remember the end of this song? But I like that part when he say, I do it like it's never been done. So you can suck my dick with an elephant's tongue. Damn. Shout out to Lil Wayne, the greatest rapper ever. Okay, my ghostwriter for all of my tracks. Wayne done wrote all my shit on all 5 albums. So big shouts out to him for always sharing the words, because I be feeling that shit to the core, but I cannot put that shit together on my own. So big shouts out to Lil Wayne. And shout out to everybody all over the world, man. Shout out to the people that's been rocking with me and listening every week. I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate calling me and your phone calls to, it's very, very encouraging. And I just want you to know I appreciate it a whole lot. Speaking of the people that are listening, I just realized something earlier, that every day of this month that I'm going to be broadcasting is some winners numbers, right? Like on a roulette table. So the first Tuesday was a third. Today is the 10th. Next Thursday will be the 17th, Lord willing. I will be here for a live broadcast on my daddy's birthday, which is St. Patrick's Day. So big shouts out to my dad, who was born on St. Patrick's Day. My last name is a Scottish and Irish name. So shout out to my dad, man. I just think that was awesome, that was already going to be his last name, and he was born on St. Patrick's Day. So shout out to him. Speaking of my dad, I got to get him on the phone so he can get me up to date on all the stuff that's been going on, because there is a lot going on. But I'm going to tell y'all something for real. That damn spring forward kicked my ass. I don't know I don't know how long or when it's going to be that I'm going to all the way catch up. But it's going to still be a minute, because today felt so off. I think today was the first, I guess Monday, the first, what's today? See, I'm talking about today, Monday. The first week, like work week, since the spring forward. So shout out to my awesome family in Falls County, Texas. I had an awesome time going to visit everybody on Sunday. I got up Sunday morning. Shout out to my homie Patrick. Made me feel so good. I got up Sunday morning. I always call myself Henry Hill, because I'm always running around doing a whole bunch of shit. But I got my brim on today. For one thing, I found this in the closet, and I was like, damn, I thought that it was somewhere else. And I reached in the top of the closet, and it was just in my hand. So I was like, it was meant to be for me to wear my Young Money brim tonight. But also, what was I thinking about? How I went to the country, and I'm grateful. I had a good time with my family. It was so awesome going down there. But whatever else I was going to say, I'll think about it in a minute. But anyway, I had such an awesome time in the country because, oh, I know what it was. I was thinking about Eazy-E, okay? Because Eazy-E in the movie Straight Outta Compton, Eazy-E was not like, I guess he wasn't like rapping, like, like, he wasn't rapping because he really just wanted to be a rapper, according to the way that I saw the story. Eazy-E was rapping because, he had the voice, and also he really had the, I guess, what do you want to say, like the energy to, pull that shit off, because of the simple fact that Eazy-E, he was living that life for real. So in one of the scenes in the movie, he was like, went into these people's house and they was bullshitting. The people was waiting on him in the studio, and the people was bullshitting. So he didn't get a chance to get, it done. I think that police ended up running the house or whatever. But before then, the girl kept on offering Eazy-E some water. And Eazy was like, bitch, I told you I wasn't motherfucking thirsty. So anyway, thank God I ain't had no situations going on like that. But ripping and running, hop, skipping, and jumping has been what this week has been about so far. Thank God I made it to, the majority of the things that I set out to do. But very grateful that I went to the country to go visit my auntie, got a chance to go see my cousins. Shout out to my awesome cousins, Terrence and Destiny. I'm so mad at myself that Destiny offered me some ground beef patties with gravy and onions and mashed potatoes before I left. And baby, every time I leave from over their house, you are feeling Stevie Wonderful, okay? You walk outside, that country air hit you in the face, and you done had a good time. So big shouts out to them. All worked out beautifully. I got a chance to see everybody. Happy birthday to my cousin Terrell. Happy birthday to my cousin Kevy. I was actually down there on her birthday. So big shouts out to her as well. And happy birthday. It was awesome. I ended up messing up though, because I turned off on, so I know how to get down there. I could get down there like without a second thought. I know exactly how to get down. Been going all my life, basically. But there was some traffic. There's a lot of traffic, 35 South. So around about Hillsboro, they have a lot of traffic. And Belmead, I think it is, right? Waco, where Baylor University is. And so they were like, we found an alternate route The GPS said, we found an alternate route that will save you 7 minutes. Do you want to take it by way of 77? So I know I'm always going to 77 anyway. So I was like, yeah. Man, they took me down this farm road. I'm so grateful that it wasn't nighttime because it take a lot to really, I don't know, for me to get scared or to be crying or some shit. But I feel like if I would have been back there, I would have been crying because that shit was deep off in the woods, dark. You ain't seeing nothing but people's houses. Ain't no turning around because it's a 2-lane road, ditches on both sides. So if your ass gonna turn around, you gonna turn around on somebody's yard. And you know, these days, you can't be just driving up in somebody's yard, especially in Texas, because it's just a lot of shit that's going on. So anyway, thank God I made it out of there. I would never take that shit again, even though it was awesome, because when I came out, even though I didn't get a chance to make my usual chicken and beer pit stop that I make at this little store that I like on the way, I used to go get some chicken, potato wedges and rolls and beer, and I roll into the city with that. But didn't happen like that. I ended up getting some shit at Dairy Queen. Me and my cousin still had a good time with that, and a bottle of wine. So we had a good time, but like I said, that shit was ridiculous taking that back road. So be careful, because my GPS said if you want to continue, say reject or something like that. I don't have no damn stickers things to have my phone up in the air, so I'm like, my phone is way over there, or I'm charging it or something. I can't press reject. I don't want to press nothing on the phone while I'm driving. So anyway, that was what happened with that. I made it down there, got back safely, thank God, and God bless everybody. I'm glad I was able to make it. Congratulations to my sister in Oklahoma. I guess my sister Kimberly, I guess she got her master's degree, I guess. I don't know, but I know she was doing something in the advancement of her, the advancement of her education. So shout out to her. My sister that we just met after 44 years. We didn't know that she was even in the world. And my cousin put his name on Ancestry.com looking for his father. And I think that it was confirmed, in that for the people that want to ask me if my daddy ever got a DNA or anything like that, it's like my cousin, who was my grandmother's sister's grandson, matched her DNA. So two sisters' grandkids had the same DNA. So anyway, and the story lines up with my dad's story. So, God bless everybody. I didn't get a chance to go to the celebration. Still didn't get a chance to make this strawberry smash, but I didn't get a chance to go to the celebration because I really ain't been fucking with my sister. When she first reached out to me, or she reached out to my cousin, and my cousin, they were emailing, talking back and forth. My cousin hit me up. My cousin and his wife hit me up, and they was like, hey, we got something to tell you or whatever. And my dad had kind of already briefed me a little bit on it when his wife passed away, but we just didn't go in depth. He just told me what he remembered. He wanted to share with me. I guess since his wife had passed away, maybe he felt a little sentimental, about, him no longer being here or whatever. So anyway, he told me that he could possibly have a daughter that he felt like that was in Arkansas. He didn't really know much about, what, but he did think about her and he wanted to tell me about it. So maybe about, I don't know, probably about 10 years later, to be honest with you, because I think my dad's wife passed away somewhere around 2012, 2013. Well, no, because I bought my house in 2004. I was still living in my house when she passed away. So I bought my house in 2004. I lived in my house for 9 years. I'm not very good in math, but I don't think that's not no damn 2012. I don't think. Maybe 2012, 2013. I don't know. Anyway, somewhere around that time for her to reach out to me 3 years ago. And I remember what my dad had said. So anyway, we ended up talking, and we texting back and forth. When she finally texted me, I told my cousin it was okay to give her my telephone number. I wanted to talk to her. And we ended up, she finally texted me, not right away, but maybe like a couple of weeks later. And we were going back and forth on the text. And so then I was just like, where are you? You know, like, where are you? I woke up that morning, a Saturday morning. I was like, where are you? She was like, well, my fiance and I, we about to go. We live in Oklahoma. We about to go. You know, she lives further in Oklahoma, like not anywhere near where the boat is. Or I don't know if they call it the boat. I don't know what they call a casino. I know the boat is what they used to call it going to Louisiana. I've never been a good a gambler. Like, I'm not successful at gambling. But anyway, I ended up telling her, hey, I'll come and meet you. Because that's, even though, you know, you're driving, you don't have to drive halfway if you're already kind of coming halfway. Because where the casino is, I like, from us, from where we are, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's an hour, depending on how fast you drive. But it's just a straight shot up 35 North. So by the time you get to Denton, I think you're like 30 minutes away from where the casino is. I don't even know what they call this shit. What is the casino called um in Oklahoma? I don't know. All I know is when I went down there and lost them damn two big old ass pictures and them Indian men at the front door, I really want to throw some up there and bust that shit open, because give me my damn money. Y'all was playing with me. I was winning, and then I ended up losing, and I left out there with nothing. Like, I can definitely relate to what Lil Wayne said when he said I left that crap table with a chip on my shoulder, okay? Because I was pissed off that them people took my money. I don't win unless I go to Louisiana. But I honestly would rather just hustle for the money and then just spend it like I want to. I don't want to take a chance on doubling it. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But that shit gonna happen because I ain't got nothing else to do, and that never happens. So anyway, we drinking Mai Tai tonight. Still don't have the strawberry smash. I gotta do it before, in the morning, assemble it in the morning and get it ready. I can't try to do it when I'm on my way here, because when I'm on my way here, I just been in the house for like 5 minutes. So, and now we gotta fall. What is it? Spring forward? Yeah, it's rough. But back to my sister. So, you know, I drove down to the casino. I met her. You know, talked to her, gave her a picture of my dad. You know, we just talked. She looks like my dad. You know, she was very sweet. We had a good conversation. And then, you know, we continued to stay in contact. She came to Dallas. I invited her to Dallas. She came to Dallas to meet other people in the family. We went down to the country, met my family in the country. You know, a lot of people, you know, we went around, made sure she got to know everybody, because I felt bad. Like, I didn't know how I would feel if I didn't know. I think, first of all, like, if I had gotten to be 44 years old, and it's just personally me, like, if I had gotten to be 44 years old and I had never met my dad, I would not even be trying to be bothered with it. Maybe because I'm just thinking about how busy my life is, and I don't know what I would be doing. Like, because I'm like, you know, but anyway, if you're my dad, you need to be reaching out to me. I'm not going to be hunting you down. It's too much shit going on. But I understand everybody had their own mindset, their own heart about how they want to do things. And I'm right there to be the supportive one for whatever it is that you feel like you feel like you need to do. I'm always going to be that friend. But anybody that has ever dealt with me, whether it be friend or a family, they know I'm in it as long as you not running in circles. I see you keep running around the same bullshit. Can't nobody tell you shit. Then you know what? You might be possessing the demon. And I have gotten to the point in my life where I don't regret. I'm not gonna talk a lot about it because, you know, not on my platform. You fight me too hard for me to give you a damn place on my show. But I've recognized that for whatever reason, you know, the shit keeps popping up all over the place with different people. And it's only gonna be people, and I understand more and more. It's like you hear so many people that talk about how they done read the Bible, and they done read the Bible from this and this, and they want to question the Bible, they want to analyze the Bible. Like, I've been reading the Bible every single day for like 30 years. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm only saying that to say that it is different every single year. Like, I can go and read something that I've underlined or I've highlighted, and I don't even see it the same. This morning I read something, and I read a devotional Bible, which is really interesting because as I grow and as I mature, just socially, emotionally, and spiritually, I even read the devotionals different. It was at one point in time I might have read someone's story and I'm like, okay, sis, I see what you was trying to do with this, but no, I'm not rocking like that. But then some time passes and now I see it differently. So the Bible is a living word. It's not a dead word. Like, so since it's living, it's going to continue to be growing, just like our hair. We pretty much, a lot of people done cut their hair off and it done grew back or whatever. But the majority of us have just been growing hair or shedding hair, but we still got follicles. The follicles of your hair are the original hair that you had, that God talks about, knowing the hair count on your head. You might not have the same hair, but you do have the same follicles. So when the hair even returns, you still have the same amount of strands that you started with. So with that being said, we're living every single day. And every single day you should be growing, and you shouldn't look at something that you saw a certain way 10 years ago and still see it the same way today. If you are, you need to really pray, because that means you've fallen into routine and you're just doing it to do it. You're not allowing it to be like seared to you. I watch a lot of mob movies and a lot of backstories to the mob. And that's the reason why I can't really get jiggy with a lot of the shit that's on TV and on the news, because it have to make sense to me. And when you're repeating the same shit over and over again, it's crazy, because it's exactly, like almost exactly to the T, what the word of God said that the devil was going to do when he got frantic. Like when he got scared, he was going to, try to get all of these people. But there's a whole preparation process to creating a group of people that's just going to be on some bullshit and opposing all of the real shit and having a miserable life, yet not accepting anyone who's not having the miserable life that they have, and you want to accept none of their advice, but you want to try to pull them down there with you. Like, all of this stuff has already been written. There's nothing new up under the sun. And so with that being said, I just encourage people to stay with it. Stay with something spiritual, because staying close to God is the only thing that's going to protect you from trying somebody like me. That's the only thing that's going to protect you, because you're going to feel the conviction that's going to come along with it. But if you're far away from God, then you're absolutely who the enemy is looking for. So one of my favorite movies is the movie Fallen, with starring Denzel Washington. And in this movie, Denzel kept coming in contact with this demon who really wanted to conquer Denzel. He couldn't conquer Denzel because Denzel, like I said, you have to have a certain vulnerability to evil for evil to be able to possess you. If you leave it open, irregardless to how you done tried to mac it up in front of everybody else and wig it up or whatever, the spirit still detects your vulnerability. So just like in this movie, this spirit couldn't get to Denzel. It wanted Denzel. It wanted to possess Denzel's body, because Denzel's character and the character that Denzel had built, being this detective Hobbs, I believe that was his name. I believe so. But anyway, that was in that movie right there. Then Lil Wayne and Mrs. Washington. I mean, no disrespect, but baby, in Mo Better Blues and in Fallen, Denzel, it's like people have their own little eras. And when they have, when they do whatever it is that they doing, and everybody has had their own era. And I feel like I'm one of them people I feel like have done well in every era of my life, as far as being able to maintain my swag and my style or whatever. And Denzel has done it in every area of his life. But there's only one era in Denzel's life where I was like, almost like this close to falling in love, because Denzel was just so beautiful in the parts that he was playing. Like, oh, anyway, God bless him and his awesome family. But in this movie, like I said, it kept on trying to get close to Denzel. It couldn't get to Denzel, so it did everything that it could to get close. Like, I don't really want to spoil it for anybody, but spoiler alert if somebody's going to watch it. Like, this man is literally the man when the movie starts, the man who's possessing this demonic spirit, he is, going to the electric chair. And on his way to the electric chair, he's scanning people that are in the actual facility, right, where he's been about to go to the electric chair. So anyway, he's scanning. He can't find anybody. He can't find anybody open. He all of a sudden, at the last minute, he finds somebody who's open. He touches them. When he touches them, because they're vulnerable, then his spirit goes into them. And that's how he kept living, even though he would get inside of these people and do all these horrible things. And these people would end up either being taken up out of here as a result of it, or they would be jailed, or something like that. And then he come up out of them and they be like, what is going on? What did I do? How, they be done all kind of stuff. So anyway, I do believe that even though, you can't take something that you see at face value, right? Shout out to my grandmother who used to always say, and I share this with my children when I see them getting deeply emotional or deeply embedded into like political things and things that you see on television. And I told my kids, I shared with them something that my grandmother said. And I said, always don't be so much of a skeptic that you don't trust the right people. But if something is being put out to the masses, always assume that you're being lied to. Always give that a thought, that there may be something else bigger, behind what's going on. So with that being said, I kind of segued a little bit away from, what I was sharing about my sister, because like I say, I know that a big part of what people feel when they're in my presence is the presence of God. A person might see me smoking weed. They might see me drinking. They might see me rapping Lil Wayne on my way to a Lil Wayne concert. And I do all of that. But I do have a very serious relationship with God. But it's not the relationship like a lot of people expect it to be when you say something like that. A lot of people expect for it to be like you treat your boss at work. So, you're only talking about it, but when you're behind closed doors, you don't necessarily conduct yourself like your boss is still there, right? So with me, it's a little bit different. When I'm out here in these streets, baby, I'm like Regine Carter, okay? My daddy is the man. My daddy run all of this. So with that being said, I am not out here, on no dirty shit because he's my daddy. He will discipline me and he will let me know when I'm wrong and not discipline me to the point to where, I feel like that I'm being abused or I'm having to be like something bad happening to me. But to me, when you truly have a loving fear, aka respect, like we're supposed to respect our fathers with God, not only do you have the freedom to be yourself so that you can grow, but also you have the freedom to understand and know without a shadow of a doubt that you just don't want to disappoint him. Like you just want him to see you in a good light. You don't want, what I'm saying, him to look at you and, it's like, I'm so disappointed in you right now. You just don't want to have that. But that's a level that you have to get to. It's not something that you can say for yourself. It's not something that you can declare. And you being sought after is only evidence that he's with you because he's who they want. In the movie Sinners, I remember thinking about, the main character, I forgot exactly what his name was, but anyway, he was the cousin that Michael B. Jordan, the two brothers, he was their cousin, and his father was a preacher. I think his name was Sammy. And anyway, when the vampires came to the door, they said, listen, man, we'll leave all of y'all alone after they already got everybody. But anyway, they was like, we'll leave all y'all alone. Just give us Sammy. He's the one that we want. So there are people like that in the world. And the only thing that makes them different from everybody else is that when those things came to kill them, they trusted God to keep them alive. Just like Daniel in the lion's den, just like the 3 Hebrew boys who were also friends of Daniel, that I also, something after all of these years of hearing that story, I always wanted to separate them. Come to find out, they knew each other. They were all friends. That's the reason why the people was hot after Daniel's tale, because they already had heard about what these other guys did that went to the fiery furnace. And so with that being said, a lot of people think that they have a relationship with God. And I'm not saying this to criticize or compare myself to anybody, but it's just the stuff that you see people doing, I just absolutely would not do. And everybody has the right to do whatever makes them feel comfortable. But what you have to understand about someone who is clairvoyant, it's just like running nails down the wall, or somebody breaking up styrofoam. I don't know if I'm the only person that gets that, but I can't stand for people to break up styrofoam. So there's certain sounds and certain types of actions that create certain sounds that certain people get so irritated with hearing in their ears, it upset their stomach. Not for everybody, but there are some people out there. So for me personally, it's just like, I don't have anything against anybody, but you're going to have your shit up under control. You're going to have, everybody wants, everybody wants the good shit. Everybody want it, but everybody don't value it. Everybody don't understand it, so a lot of times they don't know what to do with it, and that's fine. But it's not about somebody else knowing what you are, what you bring, what you feel, or what you feel the need to protect. It's about you knowing it so you can know how to protect yourself and to listen to your instincts about where you need to be versus where you're not supposed to be. Because at the end of the day, don't none of us know absolutely. I crack up when I hear people talk about their purpose. Although I do agree that God's suggestion about what you should do in this world, in this lifetime, are things that you do without anxiety, things that you do well. I think that was him just kind of casting a vote in that direction. If you do something that you feel instantly gratified with when you do it, the issue a lot of times that will come, and that's why you're blessed if you dig deep inside of you and you find, talents, because as soon as you say, I'm going to use my gift of baking to make a living, they raise the price on all the baking supplies. And then you got a whole bunch of different people baking. And then you got a whole bunch of people that don't know good shit. There's a lot of people out here, God bless them, if that's how you want to run your business, that do things with store-bought products and, box cakes and all that kind of stuff. Maybe a lot of people like to decorate well. There are also places where you can order a cake, and you order a cake that's already been baked and you just unwrap it and decorate it. I think the people that know how to bake and the people that know how to decorate need to get together so that you can always know that you're getting a good cake, even if it's pretty. I don't necessarily know how to write on cakes really well, so I stick with the more creative design, whatever comes to me. But I'm grateful that I put some other things out there, and I opened up myself to be able to do some other things, because at one point in time, baking and bartending was sustaining me very well. Now, even though I do get gigs here and there, it's a lot of things that are going on, and everybody, like my clients, they expect a certain level of service. And even if they do, have brought some other people in, the same people that I started working with 10 years ago, thank God, I still work for those same people today. And with that being said, I feel like that speaks to service and you just maintaining. It's going to be difficult sometimes, especially if you're doing something for yourself, with all the people that jump up and do things just because they can. Somebody might be willing to offer what you have to sell, or your gift or your talent or your business. Somebody else might be offering the same thing for a cheaper price. Doesn't necessarily mean they have a better quality, but they have a cheaper price. Now, here's the thing. I'm not knocking them either, because it's a group and a class of people for everybody, right? I'm not knocking anybody that get clothes from Shein or people that get clothes from like Rainbow and stuff like that. I'm not knocking them because I done seen some people and they put that stuff on and they wear it and they wear it well. And I mean, it's not saying anything bad about them, but they know how to put that shit together and it looks nice. It looks like shit on me. I mean, I just feel that way. I don't like the way it make me look. I don't like the way that I feel. I just don't like it. I'm not putting it down, but I'm just saying it don't work for me. Not to say that it don't work for anybody because they obviously, because they're in business. But I'm saying all that to say, don't lower your price. Your price is your price. It might take you a little bit longer, but the people that you need to be doing business with are the people that are willing to pay you for what your gift is worth. Especially if you take your time, you put a lot of love and care into stuff, you're going to need time. You're not going to be able to do that for 50 million people. So with that being said, like in the beginning, I used to be doing that, working myself to death, but the reason why I was working myself to death, it wasn't that I had just so many orders. It was that I was putting love into every order because I don't believe in nothing going out no other way. So with that being said, it's taken me a little bit of extra time. I ended up falling out with this girl. I think we cool today, but because her mom has bought a couple of cakes from me since then. She's never called me back, but I acted fool and took an order from her for 5 cakes, 5 of the same cake one year. And I didn't really think that much about it. I was just like, sometimes people just have a big family and they just want to make sure they have enough. But I got to the point to where I was out. I was spent. I was out of product. The stores was closing. Back in the day, we could go to Walmart or somewhere like that. I don't know if Winco is still 24 hour. I think they were like one of the last people that was like quote unquote grocery that was 24 hour. But all the people want to go fight and walk up out of Walmart with shit. Now Walmart closing at 11 o'clock. So that used to be, even though I don't make a practice of getting things at Walmart, I just don't buy products from there. I just don't. But if in a crunch, I can go get, some gold medal flour or some sugar or something like that. But now you don't even have that option. So when all the shit is closed, I'm spent, I'm out of product, I'm out of this, I don't have no other way to put this shit together. I let her know, I got 3 cakes for you. I don't have 5. I apologize. I'll do you another one later on. After Christmas, you hit me up, I'll give you a free cake. And she kind of got upset with me and said, well, I had took orders from other people. Well, she had taken orders from other people. And so I guess she was making some money off of the cakes or whatever. That could be the only reason why I feel like she didn't put the people in contact with me, which was absolutely fine. But like I told her, well, your business had a bad season. Your distributor had an issue, and that's just the way that it goes. I'm sorry. I cannot pull a cake out of my ass, nor will I even try. I did the best that I could to pull off 3. And you know what I'm saying? That was just the way that it went. She never called me back. I'm not doing no shit like that again in life anyway. I appreciate the fact that I can do as many cakes as I want and still make money. I don't have to work myself to death because I just stayed down with myself and I have clients that buy from me over and over again. So it's like I would rather have, where a lot of people say, well, you don't put your stuff out there. You don't put your cakes out there and all of that. I'm not trying to brag on myself, but as Lord is my witness and all the many text messages I got in my phone about how people at the party was ranting and raving over the cake. People done called me on the speakerphone. This woman called this weekend and was like, she was there with my friend Patrick. I dropped his 2 cakes off on my way out of town. And this lady, I don't even know her. She was in the background. She was like, oh my God. She was like, when I took the top off of it, I could smell it. She said, I smelled just like my grandmother's. My grandmother used to make this cake. And I mean, just eating it is so good. I was in the country. I had bad reception. They were calling me. And I just feel like, this man told me one time, a long time ago, he said, Mecca, if you don't feel like that your product is worth anything, then you can't expect anybody else to value it more than you. He said, people don't mind paying for things that are valuable, but they'll take it if you give it away. So sometimes you just got to believe. And I always feel like, oh, let me charge people cheaper because they don't really know me, or I'm young and they're not going to want to buy a cake from me because they feel like I'm, a young girl. When I first started my business, most people that do cakes and stuff like that, the kind of cakes that I do, they're older women. But I just stayed down with myself. And now, unlike people who feel like that maybe I should have 10 clients for a season, I have 5 clients that are willing to pay me and tip me, that I do 5 cakes instead of 10 cakes. It's less work on me. It leaves me more time to do what I want to do for my family, because my own family is expecting my cakes and pies at Thanksgiving as well. So it's not just your family. Sometimes I've been cooking for 2 days straight and ain't peeled a potato for me. So those people that I work with, this particular Easter, I'm actually giving myself off. Thank God. I've gotten to a place where I don't have to work on Easter anymore. I don't want to work on Easter except for the things that I do with my family. And like I said, that's just where I am with it. But I give all glory to God, because He is who helps me, who fuels me, who convicts me, and who protects me. And I got love in my heart, because I think that if there were a downside to possessing the Spirit of Jesus Christ, it would be that you truly do love everybody. Like, you see the best in people. You see that you sympathize even when you run across people that are trying to do you dirty because they're trying to pad their own insecurities. Like, you still love them. So with that being said, I think if that were all me, because of some of the thoughts that I have and some of the things that I've allowed myself to go off about, because I felt like that because I knew about something that I was supposed to speak on it all the time. I don't have nothing against anybody, but I am not going to disrespect my struggle and all the wisdom that I have gained through surviving all the shit that came to take me out, to let you just come and upset me, degrade me, belittle me. No, we're not going to do that at all. So for anybody, family, friends, coworkers, anybody who I come in contact with, if you got respect for me, a lot of people say, I've heard people say this about me more than once. I'm not fenced to kiss her ass. I don't want you to kiss my ass. That ain't a good time for me. But just don't come around with no bullshit, because I can be by myself. I don't have no problem being by myself. So with that being said, I can be by myself. If I'm going to be in the company of you, means another person that I got to, figure out what they want to do, when a lot of times I just want to do what I want to do. But if another person wants to be there and we can have a good time, shits and giggles, you know what I'm saying, then great. But if you come in with a whole bunch of bullshit, a whole bunch of negativity, that shit is not going to be tolerated even for 2 minutes. I talked to my sweet dear friend. I love her to pieces. She lives in Rhode Island. And I told her, I said, girl, she was like, I want to come to Dallas or whatever, but I don't want to come to Dallas and, me and you end up falling out. I said, listen, it ain't going to be no falling out. She said, I'd be way out there. I said, ain't gonna be no falling out, but you're gonna have to get in here and get your ass somewhere and sit down. She talking about, see, that right there. That's the She was like, do you see how you just said, get your ass somewhere and sit down? And I said, listen, I'm not saying get your ass somewhere and sit down like a little kid, like I'm the parent and you the child. I'm saying, listen, we can sit around, we can cool, we can listen to music, we can cook up a bunch of damn food, we can even go out, we can do everything. But all of that punk ass complaining and whining and making a mountain out of a molehill, I don't do it. I don't do it. Not for a minute. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the bitches that's cool with me, that's done almost got their ass put out of my car and all of that, because not for 1 minute am I going to tolerate it. So with that being said, it's all love. I love everybody, but loving you, in order for me to love you, I have to love myself. If I don't love myself, then what I give you is fake and phony. And a lot of people need to turn around and love themselves for themselves. Quit thinking about what you think everybody else thinks, because at the end of the day, you done ran around that mountain a long time enough. It's time to accept it is time to do something different. Okay. And, trying to sabotage and gang up. When you gang up with the people that's trying to tear somebody down that ain't never did nothing to you, you got to understand that you're very, very weak if you got to resort to that. So with that being said, you're not what you think you are. If you got to go gang up with some other people to try to pull another person down, all because neither one of y'all can't handle that person on y'all own, that's what you need to tell yourself, and that's what you need to heal from, because that's what's stopping you. That's the stumbling block that's stopping you from being everything that you want to be. First, decide what it is that you want to be. And you can't be me, because that position is already filled. If you be me, who am I be? You have to decide what you want to do. I welcome you with loving arms. If you coming into the family by marriage, by, hey, we've had a couple of them, you know what I'm saying? Come to find out, they put my great granddaddy on Front Street for him going to make another family, and come to find out, his sons did the same thing. My daddy did the same thing. All of them done had some kids pop up. You know what I'm saying? Later on in life. So it wasn't just my granddaddy, even though everybody tried to, you know what I'm saying? God rest his soul. Shout out to him, man. He was real with me. Shout out to my grandparents, rest their soul, who kept it G with me. Okay, if you've ever had my pecan pie and you enjoyed it, you have my great granddaddy Dan to thank for that, because he taught me how to make that pie in a wheelchair. And for all you bitches that might be out there in the family that say I'm trying to gatekeep the recipe, you a damn lie. I give it to you, and I didn't gave it to everybody. But like my grandmother said, my great grandmother said, don't be holding back no recipes. Fafine said, recipes don't make pies, people do. You putting your spirit into it. Ain't nobody can steal that from you. So shout out to everybody out there that's doing everything. Like I said, it's not that I'm turning my back on anybody, but if you're going to be around me, you're going to be conducting yourself with love and respect. That's all. Y'all, time flies when you are having fun. Shout out to On the Rocks. This is pretty good. On the Rocks premium cocktails. Tangy Mai Tai with cruising rum. Shout out to Lil Wayne, wherever you are in the world. God bless you, protect you, and keep you, and I love you. Huh? I got 10 minutes? Oh, okay, I got 10 minutes. We did start a little bit late. Okay, so let me see something. What was I? Oh, you know what? I had something interesting happen to me today. I went to a gas station to get some gas, and I wasn't going to get that much gas because I just don't trust it on the car. You know, the car be saying 17 miles, then it turn around and say 6 miles. Like, damn, how many miles I got with this gas? So when the gas light come on, even though I did not have time for that today, I was on my way somewhere and I was already 30 minutes late, but I was like, you're going to be even more late if you run out of gas. So I ended up stopping to get some gas, and I was at this racetrack and I swiped my card. So y'all, if you ever go up to a gas station and you swipe your card and you put your card into the card reader and it looks like nothing is happening, stop right there before you, or either hurry up. If that's the only card you got, hurry up and go to another pump, put you some gas, and then go to your online banking and lock your card. Because I locked my card after I put my card in the card reader 2 or 3 times. I immediately locked my card and I just went to another pump, and thankfully I had another card that I could use, and I used that card, and sure enough, it wasn't 30 minutes that passed by that I started getting that notifications from my bank that was saying card, you just had a transaction decline. You just had a transaction decline. And so these transactions were being declined because my card was locked. But just that quick, they had my information. So especially when it's one of those large gas stations, you know, Quick Trips and racetracks and all of that kind of stuff, you know, I haven't had an opportunity to notify them. I did say I was going to stop by there and tell them. I don't honestly remember even what pump I was on. When I tried, because my receipt didn't say that number, I immediately drove to another number. But like I said, it was some shit that happened. My card didn't read on the machine, and they had gotten my information just that fast. So if that ever happens to you, if you stick your card in a card reader at a gas pump and it seems to not be reading your card at all, even to decline it or something, then sometimes the reason why their machine is not reading that your card is there is because there is a device inside of it that has reading your information that's been put there by somebody else. Let me see. I think that, let's see. So I did see this tomorrow, which is the 12th. No, Thursday is the 12th. Tomorrow is Wednesday, the 11th. But yeah, I seen something earlier. I don't know. I wasn't going to say nothing about that. The Dallas Mavericks going to be playing on Thursday. They'll be playing on Thursday the 12th. So I really hadn't been watching, y'all. I need to carve out some more time. I thought I had carved out a lot of time, but I need to carve out some more time because I'm still not able to really just relax and do things like I want to do it. So with that being said, it's been rough, but I'm grateful for spring. I'm grateful for all the awesome people that I know that have birthdays in the month of March. I'm cool with all the Pisces. They cool people, they quiet. They ass can be a little sneaky sometimes, but for the most part, they genuine people, especially my sweet daughter. She, you know what I'm saying, bless her heart. She just, my baby. She don't have no ill will towards anybody. And she just don't. You know, she just want to be easygoing and not have no issues. And the defensive mode that sometimes concerns me about her, I see myself a lot. And that's where the faith comes from, that she will, you know, get to a point to where she's not even thinking about what nobody else thinks, what nobody, just continue to do you. But sometimes, you know, the little seeds that we plant, it take a little bit of time before you see a sprout of green, you know. But just watch for it. And if you see one little sprout, just make sure that you let that be the faith that carry you on to continue to believe in what it is that you want to do. Because all through our life, we've continually been learning about, you know, us having to stay, you know, honestly, everything that we've ever learned, from even the nursery rhymes all the way up to the stories they used to tell us about, you know, when you think about Jack and the Beanstalk and all of that stuff that we learned about in school, all of that stuff was really little bitty snippets and little bitty, you know, things that help you to understand and kind of piece it together, what's in front of you. God is not going to reveal it all, you know, like right away. I had a situation this week that I prayed about, and it happened in an instant. Like everything that I asked for to happen, it went so beautiful. It went so smooth. I got a last minute catering gig, and almost wasn't going to take it because it was not only last minute, but I had an opportunity to work another job. But I mean, I was actually scheduled somewhere else. But what I had working for me was I wasn't supposed to be. Somebody else had started making the schedule of my little part-time gig, and they didn't realize that I don't work on Saturdays. So when I let them know that, they was like, okay, we'll take you off. So now I'm off the hook. So now, you know, I got to decide whether I'm going to take this last minute catering. And even the woman, when I got to her house, she said, because she sent me these recipes that she wanted me to make. And she said, oh my God, Mecca, I'm so glad that you were available, because looking at that recipe was exhausting. And I really, really prayed because it was, it was a lot. And I also had promised my good friend Patrick, who always buy cakes for me, everybody in his life that have a birthday, an anniversary, a wedding, Patrick is going to call me and do business with me and make sure he helped me put some money in my pocket. So shout out to him, my dear friend, who is a black man, who is, you know what I'm saying? It was my birthday party. Patrick walked in there and put $100 on my shirt. And my brother talking about, you need to put the 100 up under the bottom. People going to be thinking you already paid. I said, baby, the standard is being set, okay? Fuck that. If you don't care about giving me nothing and you don't want to at least try to come close, I'm not saying you have to put $100 on there. Most people put 20, but shout out to the people that sent cash apps, 25 and 50. That's why, baby, I woke up the next morning. I was like, where did they say Lil Wayne gonna be on my birthday? And I looked and seen Lil Wayne was gonna be in New Jersey. And I flew out to New Jersey. I took all of that money that was pinned on my shirt and all of that money that was sent to my Cash App, and I took myself to New Jersey. That shit was so awesome. And even better, I found out not too long ago. Like, y'all know I always talk about how much I love mob movies. And what made my birthday even more gangster than me taking that birthday money from my birthday party, getting up the next morning, taking a shower, throwing on some sweats. I didn't even take no toiletries with me because I knew I was just going to go overnight. So I'm like, bitch, I'm balling. I'm fixing to just go to Walmart when I get to New Jersey and get all my body wash, toothpaste, all of that stuff when I get there. I'm not giving myself no reason to have no delays on this last minute ticket, and everything went so awesome. So I was so grateful for that opportunity. But what was even more gangster than that, y'all know, minus the cocaine, I always say that I'm Henry Hill because I always have too much shit to do in a day, and I'm always running it through my mind. Okay, I gotta go get this, I gotta go pick up eggs, I gotta go get this, blah, blah, blah. But thank God always is with me. He always answers my prayer. That's where my faith comes from. That's where my belief comes from, that he answers me. And he let me know when he let this very difficult recipe get rave reviews from the family who cleaned their plates and raved about the dinner. I had never cooked anything like this before, but I just asked God to help me. And when I left there, and the lady paid me over and beyond what I asked her for, just because she appreciated me doing it at the last minute and how much everybody loved the food. The Holy Spirit spoke to me when I got in the car, and I truly believe, and I just want to share this with y'all as I go, that God has the power to do whatever he wants to do whenever he wants to do it. If he wants to do it in an instant is all he needs. If there is something else that is lingering, or if he's asking you to wait just a little bit longer, please understand it's not because he can't do it. It's just not the right time. Maybe you need to grow and learn some more things about yourself or the people around you before he answers that prayer. So take heed to everything, because you don't have to separate people, but you do have to have them in the right position in order for you to move to the next level. Okay, so shout out to everybody. It's all love, but like I said, self-preservation is the first law of nature, and you got to love yourself. Once you start loving yourself, protecting yourself is going to be easy. Okay, so this has been my time, y'all. This has been Miss Mecca's Take. If you'd like to support the show, Miss Mecca's Take is also my Cash App. And if you'd like to just follow me and stay in touch, I follow back. I laugh at your jokes at Miss Mecca's Take on Instagram. I love you, and Lord willing, I will see y'all next week. Good night.